All right. Shit. I think we're okay. We're good.
Are you sure?
I just want to make sure the camera was angled right.
Extra positive.
HIV positive.
Ooh.
You ready?
No, I mean, after that, I don't know no more. Go ahead. No, Nick.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Rando Convo podcast.
Nick is the worst at intros. I swear to God, bro.
The worst or the best?
No, I said what I said. I don't know why you tried to
I
put
thought
that
I was
in
like,
there.
you mean the opposite type.
Nah, that would have been days, Nick. That would have been days.
How are you doing, bro?
Life, man. I like to think every day I wake up and I'm alive is a good day. But life is a bitch. I mean, unforgiving. But we move. Nonetheless, how has your life been, nigga?
I've been good, bro. I've been busy.
Busy. Ain't that something?
Been buying a lot of shit, but buying a lot of important shit.
That's good. I feel like busy is better than bored. But bored is nice every now and then.
Bored is needed.
You got to be bored. It makes life more exciting
So,
for the rest of the times.
So, yeah.
Fuck it.
Go ahead. What's your random thought?
We're going right into the Randall Thoughts. We out here. Welcome to another episode of the Randall Podcast. Randall Convo Podcast. Ooh. That's why you do the introduction thing. Nonetheless, Randall Thoughts. You know it's been... Actually, it hasn't been that long since we last recorded. But nonetheless, actually, they don't know the timelines. Now that I think about it, they just know episodes when they get released.
When they release.
Randall Thought. We're doing a part, a little half and half. Part 1, part 2. You don't bringing these back. I like to do these, Nick. You gotta split them up. You gotta use these while you got them. It's like real knowledge tokens argument out here. Dropping gems. Number 1. We gotta do something about trolls as a community. I feel like we got grown men, grown adults, grown people actually trolling in their free time, and that's a problem. I feel like this is what people genuinely are spending their time on, and that concerns me. I feel like we gotta fix the troll community somehow, some way. I don't know if it's possible.
Define the troll community.
I mean, here's an example. A dude trolled Drake, right?
Mm-hmm.
On one of his comments about his son. He was, always gonna hype his son at the basketball games like Ja Morant, dad be doing Ja, right? And the dude, I don't even remember the comment. It was such an irrelevant comment. I don't know if it was about push or whatever. Just troll comment. Relevant dude. And Drake said, I could tell your wife is not happy, yada, yada, yada. I'm gonna pray for her. And then followed his wife on IG and then DM'd her. And I was like, this is how you handle trolls. This is how everyone should do trolls. Y'all should find their public lives. Because obviously not every troll has their public profile. Some are just burn their accounts. But find out a troll's public life, how they doing. Find their significant other. And slide in their DMs. Let them know this is not a game. Trolling will get you caught up.
I feel like we need the trolls, though.
No. I feel like trolls, even though they are sometimes one of the funnier things in the comments, I think they are not a necessity in the internet community.
I feel like the internet heightens it, but heckler is a very old term.
This is true.
Heckler has always been a thing.
I feel like
it's just now that we have this form of media, it makes everybody who wanted to be a heckler but didn't have the confidence.
Now that everyone's got game. I'll say this: heckling will never end. That's just, in my opinion, something that's not going away. Mm-hmm. Heckling, like you said, we've been heckling since the beginning of time. Yeah, but I feel like we gotta shame trollers. We just gotta let them know it's not okay. I don't know how else to say that.
I mean, Drake handled it pretty well.
Like I said, I think everyone should just slide in the baby mamas, all the trolls, and let's see how this goes.
Let's not get people killed now.
I feel like trolling is a dangerous game, bro.
You can't. But what if you confront a troller and it's like
this is my thing. People, if you confront a troller and they give you the work, God damn it, leave them alone. They deserve.
Not everybody should heed these advice.
This is what I'm saying. If they start trolling on the internet. Mm-hmm. Shit's not safe. You playing the game with real life. So fuck it. If you get the smoke, you ask for it. But that's Randall Thought Part 1.
Isn't that Drake bar? Twitter fingers turn to trigger.
Hey, bro, that was about Meek Mills. That's a whole separate beef. But nonetheless,
that kind of applies here. But that's your random thought?
Random thought part 2. Thank you. I'm after the troll community. Niggas go hear from me.
I didn't have a random thought, so I'm just gonna say
I got part 2.
Yeah, part 2?
I got part 2. I told you it's gonna be half and half. We come here.
God, go ahead.
Yeah, random thought. Never mind. Let's stop the point.
Random thoughts.
Oh God. Part 2. Sheck West's verse in the song Stick on the D-Day album. If you don't know about the D-Day album, Dreamville dropped the tape, D-Day drama on the joint, you know it's hype. Sheck West's verse on the song Stick is my candidate for verse of the year right now. We're only in what, May? Years not even fully halfway. No, yeah, 1 month away from being halfway through. Every time I hear this verse, I want to kick something and start breakdancing. This man Sheck snapped, and I just need to give that nigga his props. That is the random thought. If you don't know about it, go hear the song. You understand what I'm talking about. The man came out the water like a Loch Ness. All right,
Sheck, those are props.
Thank you. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, get your whatever you was trying to do.
So I didn't have a random thought.
Interesting.
So just off the top of my head, because I was reading this today.
Word.
R.I.P. Mura, who wrote Berserk, the author. There's a year. Today was the year of his the year anniversary
of his death.
Yeah, and yeah, it's reading Berserk today, like ending. I've been reading this thing for about a year and a half now. Just gradually reading it. I finally reached the end today, and when I realized that it was the anniversary of his death, I was like, that's really fucking sad.
You finished Berserk on the anniversary?
I didn't know.
So convenient.
I didn't know.
All right, well,
so
would you have done it any differently if you did?
So, what do you mean?
Would you have not finished it on the?
No, it's like I've been reading it gradually. I took a break for a long time.
Word.
And I picked it back up like around February.
Word.
And just been reading. It's 40 volumes. It's a lot. So I read like 15 volumes straight, and I stopped. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just finish this out.
So you cranked out the last 25?
Yeah, just cranked them out, and yeah, got to the end, and you know, didn't cry or anything like that, but I was like, I can't help but feel a little emotional at the fact that this dude wrote this incredible like piece of art, and he's just done. He's just dead now.
Yeah,
it's sad, and it'll never be finished either. So it's
circle
of
life.
So, R.I.P. Shouts out to his family. You know, great artist.
The shouts out to the family was nice.
Absolutely. So, let's get into our topics.
We're getting into the random convo itself. Here we go. The body of the paragraph.
You said the body of the paragraph. You fool. This is like the essay we write.
Hey, bro, we started with a B. That motherfucker was cursive. You hear?
What is this, poetry?
Hey, bro, just continue. Get into the
Nonetry. Let's go.
What's the first topic, Nick?
Oh my gosh. So, on a serious note.
You want to go into the serious?
That was what my thought was.
Go, Nick. Go.
I mean, they're both kind of serious.
Really? All right, go.
So, trying to get the laughs out. We just had some serious, not even legislation, but a judicial leak come out this week. It's not been official yet, obviously. They had this leak out from a staffer or whatever. But Roe versus Wade is set to be overturned in about 2 months. Never thought that would happen in my lifetime. So it's really shocking that happened.
Truly did not know it was an option.
I'll say my thoughts, but I want to get your initial thoughts on it, bro. Like, what were your thoughts when it happened?
Why are we spending time on this? Why is this what we're focused on? I was so confused when I heard that. I was like, "This is what y'all worried about? There's so many other things to be worried about. Like, why is this what y'all worried about?" So that was my initial thought. I was like, truly, like, this is what y'all spending y'all time on.
This is the pressing need.
This is like, yo, so many other things are going on, and y'all were like, "Hey, did y'all know?"
Gas fucking $4.25.
I was and then niggas be like, why politicians get so much hate? Because nobody understands what the fuck they actually do.
To be fair, it wasn't the politicians that made this move.
Yes,
but like, I just want to put that up.
The whole political system is making people, I feel like, angrier. I'm truly getting that vibe. Like, anytime I hear something that had to do with a judge, a politician, a president, or whatever, I'm just like, yo, this shit again? So, yeah, my initial thoughts were, what the fuck?
Fair enough. My initial thoughts were a little more a little more different. Like, not to say they were better. I'm not saying they're better, but just a little more nuanced. Because
Professional.
Yeah, like I didn't feel anything.
Weird, no emotion.
I felt no emotion because the main thing that I thought beside that was that doesn't change my life at all. And maybe that's fucked up to say.
That's the truth, but at the end of the day,
like I live in a place where that doesn't matter.
Fair.
Do I feel bad for all the people this is gonna affect? Of course. Do I feel that this is only going to affect the low income people in this country? Because if you're a rich pro-life believing family and the daughter needs an abortion, there's a pregnancy and the daughter like doesn't want to have the kid, you're gonna leave Texas and you're gonna go to whatever the next state is to go get that abortion if it needs to happen. If you are somebody who works at an Amazon factory and you find out like really late that you're pregnant and you only have like a couple days to figure out what you're gonna do, you can't get time off, get PTO at your job to go do this, or else you're gonna get fired. You don't have the money to get a plane, take the bus, take a train. Like, those are the people who I feel sad for.
This is gonna affect.
For me, I'm not in that place, so it's hard for me to like. I want to fake emotion.
I hear you. I definitely see your perspective on it, and I agree with you. I don't think this is going to stop people from having abortions or getting abortions. I think it's just going to make it, like you said, more difficult for people.
For the people who really need that service.
This is all it's going to do.
For the people who will inconvene, it's not going to affect them really at all.
I definitely see your perspective and where it does not have an effect on your day-to-day life, which I think we got to be more honest. Not everything affects us. We do not have to be passionate about everything that comes up in the news.
You feel me? Like, who am I to even have like a super I'll let them do the talking on that. I want them to they want to lead the way with that. That's what needs to happen. Because that's really all this is affecting.
This is true.
You know, like, if I get a girl pregnant, there's really not much I can do. Like, if that's her decision.
That's true.
There's some people who don't believe that.
That's another truth.
And I don't fuck with that belief. But do I understand the mindset of like people who really believe it's like murder? I do. Because I'm like, I can't argue it's not. I just feel like that. Like, I don't know science like that. Like,
that's fair.
I know like my sister who's a doctor can do that. I can't. So it's like, I understand. And I feel like where there's ignorance, there's like community.
Yeah. I think it's very important to... I don't think there is a full definition on... Well, not a recognized definition by the public from what we've seen. Now, where does life really start?
Right.
Are we talking heartbeat? Are we talking... the phase... What's the phase? Heartbeat?
Like going from going to like... What is it? An enzyme? What is it? Embryo, not embryo, right?
Look, we're not about to go into a full discussion about this.
This is not our shit, but we understand like there are different phases of the development.
You believe life starts within the human body, I think is a very important factor on how you feel about the decision. I say this: I'm definitely pro-choice. You feel me? Do what you gotta do. I don't think. This might be fucked up. We don't need more people on this earth. I'm just a full believer in that. We do not need more people on this earth. So like, why would I force somebody to have another person when they don't want that person?
Not as anti-people, though.
I kind of am. I don't really fuck with people like y'all think I do. I'm the truth, bro.
Yo, run a campaign. I'm anti. Are you Republican, Democrat? I'm anti.
I don't really fuck with people like y'all think
Honestly,
I do.
That might like
that's the truth.
That might get some numbers to be honest. Like, yo, I don't fuck with people either.
I feel like it's okay not to fuck with people. I feel like in today's age, people are annoying, bro. Like, it's really okay not to fuck with people. I think multiple times a day, I would be a happier person if I'd have to talk to people sometimes. I do. Like, obviously, I like to talk. Like, I fuck with Nick. Me and Nick talk all the time. I fuck with the people I fuck with. But, like, I don't know if it's just an age thing. Like, I don't feel the need to go make new friends every day. Like, I'm not that person.
Do you not like people as, like, a concept?
People annoy me on a day-to-day basis. I'll be real with you. Like, I feel like I have more... sometimes I enjoy being by myself more than I enjoy being around other people. And I feel like that's okay.
Oh, man.
That's just me.
I feel you. No, I feel you. I do feel you. I don't feel that every single day, but I feel that most days.
I feel like lonely is an emotion, too, and people feel lonely. I don't know. Maybe My parents like locked me in a room too much. I'm okay with being alone. Like I don't know how to like phase that. Like I got in trouble a lot as a kid. Like I was just in my room by myself. You gotta learn to love to be with yourself. I think everyone should learn to love to be with themselves. But we get on topic. I'm pro-choice. Make the decision you feel need in life. This has nothing to do with me. Someone in Milwaukee, a couple in Milwaukee getting pregnant and not wanting that baby has zero effect on my day-to-day decisions. So I'm not gonna sit here and now care about the law that they have to, fight and stuff.
And you know what pisses me off? The people that act like they care.
That's the shit that kills me.
Honestly kind of pissed me off.
I see the
having some conversations this week with some people and like them expressing like how evil this is. I'm like, I feel you. I'm not gonna disagree with that at all. But like, what are you about to do about it?
Yes, it has nothing to do with them. And I get people's religious beliefs are leaking into this argument because this is a topic that crosses many religious situations. It really,
honestly, for me, the religion part, I don't care about. Because I have my beliefs, doesn't mean that should impact law. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I only care about the people who think it's murder.
That's fair.
Because that crosses racial, religious lines.
Mm-hmm.
So those people I have sympathy for. Because if you truly, like the people who are outside of an abortion clinic with the signs and shit, like saying you're a murderer, like those people, like, yeah, I truly believe they're so far gone. I have sympathy for them. There's a lot of ignorance there,
It's just got
they
nothing to do with
truly believe it's murder.
Yeah.
For the people, like, I feel like a lot of people use that just to like win the argument.
I mean, if it's your religious belief, it's your religious belief. Last time I checked, America doesn't have like an official religion, so like we shouldn't be making our laws based on certain individuals' religious beliefs.
I want to read the text in the Bible. I forgot what it was, where it talks about it.
I'm not about to.
Because the Bible is vague as fuck. I went to Christian school. Like I had to read the Bible. I've already read the Bible like 3 times.
The Bible is truly one of the greatest, like in terms of like just par for bar stories. It's up there. If you really deep it, how crazy.
Old Testament,
the
murder,
Bible gets
murder
wild, bro. The Bible gets
murder,
wild.
Gay sex, everything. Like, and it's like just like casting it all in a horrible light.
How do we get here? How are we talking about the Bible? It's one of the all-time wildest books.
I'm saying it is. It's just a wild book.
It is a wild book, bro.
But we talked about it because that's where a lot of people get their like shit from.
Yes, that's where we go.
This is where their whole world belief comes from. And I'm like, yo, this book is like, it's like Berserk. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's more savage, Berserk or the Bible? I'm sorry.
Nah, bro. Ain't no way we comparing Berserk to the Bible right now, bro.
Like, what if they made the Bible like manga, bro? Like, what if like niggas didn't know what it was and they found that shit?
There is an animated series on like Bible stories.
So, it's not lit though.
Nah, hear me out. If someone was to recreate that and just let Japanese voiceovers and like reanimate it, told me that shit wouldn't slap.
I'll tell you this. My first anime experience was one of those like
Christian
Superbook. You ever heard of Superbook?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yo, it was this like super old like 1970s anime, and I didn't know what it was. I was just like, yo, they're talking about Jesus, and it's like an isekai. And the kid has like the Bible, and he jumps in the Bible to different sections, and he's like there. It's like, honestly, if they made that now, I feel like that actually be kind of
Nick, this is wild, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, but this sounds like such a wild concept.
And I was watching this when I was like 4.
Homeboy said, let me hop into this part of the Bible so I can eat. What?
And it was like a whole group of them. It was a dog and shit. It was wild. It was wild.
So much wild. I would never.
I'm gonna find it for
This is a research topic of the year.
That shit was wild. But any final thoughts on the topic?
Nah, I think we both are kind of on the same page. Just us being people who identify as men. Yeah, this really isn't our battle per se. I'm cheering on the side that I'm cheering on, but this. I feel
like the niggas who are like gonna get involved in this, like the niggas who are doing this, just trying to get some pussy. I feel like that's a lot of that going on. I'm on your side. Yeah. I'll come to the protest.
No comment on that one. And I'll comment on a lot of shit. No comment on that one. What's the next topic, Nick?
I'm about to piss you off.
No, you're not.
You didn't record.
I'm more disappointed in myself than anything.
This is like a layup, right?
On everything I love, bro. I had the mindset I was gonna get the record this time too. I was like, yo, okay, I put my phone down. I get distracted. It is what it is, Dick. You understand my pain.
I feel it.
Oh man, this got to be like at least 15 episodes straight. I don't even think we have.
Yeah, like you didn't believe me, bro. I was like, bro, like you do not do this as consistently as
Bro,
you claim,
there was definitely like a 4 episode streak where I did this, and I was so proud of myself.
I feel like even that's a stretch.
Nah, I'm
That's like saying the Wizards had like a 4 stretch period. It's like
nah, dude, we're gonna do the research, but I definitely have a good streak of putting the record on, bro. I swear I do. It's the early episodes.
You ain't doing the research.
I'm doing it. I don't know if
you gotta listen to how many episodes.
Nick, I had to listen to so many to get the clips for IG, so I'm prepared to do it again.
Fair enough.
But nonetheless, I think it's 4. It's the early episodes. I'm going with it. After that,
we'll see. I want to. All right, we're gonna follow up on that.
Is because season 2 is only like 4 episodes.
We're gonna follow. We're gonna, and I bet you're not gonna record next week neither.
Hey, look, we don't know what the future holds for us, Nick.
We'll see. And we don't know what the future's gonna hold for the playoffs either, bro. How?
You going straight into the basketball?
We're going straight into the basketball.
Here we go.
How are you feeling about the playoffs?
A sports warning.
So, and just to put some time where we're recording, like the Sixers and the Miami Heat are playing right now.
Sixers up, baby.
By 10, we're gonna see Joel Embiid's back.
It makes a difference.
How do you feel about this series, bro?
On this exact series?
Yeah.
Nah. We gotta start with the wild card, Nick. They don't even. Obviously, they have a timeline. But how did you feel about the wild card games? How did you feel about
the wild card games?
Wild first round. I'm thinking football already.
I thought you were making like a joke.
Nah, bro. That's exactly how I see the basketball. I'm not gonna hold you in the same rounds I see football. That's why when it says like Eastern Conference Finals, I'll be like, Conference Finals. I'm like, oh wait. It's a conference championship game. But nonetheless,
the wild card,
the first round. Don't let me fool you.
I was a little disappointed.
The first round?
Because we didn't get any 7-game series.
That's true. They all ended pretty.
They
standard.
all looked like they might have gone 7 games, and then it didn't happen.
Nah, when the Celtics won, Nets didn't go 7. I had lost hope in a lot of them. I thought that was gonna be one of the most competitive ones.
Well, let's go there. That has to be like, it's really rare that you get the most disappointing team in NBA history and then you follow it up with the second most disappointing team in NBA history.
You feel like the Nets team that lost last year was the most disappointing team in NBA history?
I feel like the Lakers are the most disappointing team in NBA history.
Okay, fair.
And then the Nets are the second most.
All right.
And then whoever was the most disappointing goes third. Keep the list the same.
Sure.
They just go on the bottom.
I can see what you're saying.
That is so disappointing.
I'll say this. Them losing the series isn't what I'm most disappointed about. It's how easily they got washed. And KD not showing up.
It was Kyrie for me.
Really?
It was Kyrie for me. It truly was like, I can understand why KD's struggling.
Kyrie.
That is a bad matchup for KD. Even going into it, I thought KD was going to be at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I figured Kyrie was going
pick up the slack.
And he picked up the slack literally one time.
This is true.
Now, I want to give him partially a break just because it's Ramadan and he was tired. Shit. I get that.
That's fair.
I'm not going to...
I think Boston had more of an impact than Ramadan.
I mean, I'm just putting myself in his shoes. Like, if I can't eat all day and I have to go run for 48 minutes, yeah, I sympathize with that.
I do, but I feel like plenty of athletes do it, so he's not the only one.
He's not. That's the only caveat I'm giving him. Besides that,
Boston definitely got to him.
He's the reason why they lost.
Really?
Because look,
this team is very KD dependent.
Why though? You have Kyrie Irving.
I mean, Steve Nash being the coach, maybe?
I don't think that's it. I don't think Steve Nash was the full issue.
Oh,
like I don't want to blame. I don't think he was part of the solution by any means. Obviously,
I don't think he's absolving of any blame.
Oh no, but he's not. I think he's in like 4th or 5th place for me.
Okay.
I think number 1 is Kyrie. Kyrie's the biggest issue for me.
Okay.
Because at least I saw
Kyrie showed up one game.
He showed up one game and then proceeded to do nothing else. At least KD was trying. KD tried a different type of game every single time. First game, he was bad.
Yes.
Second game, he shot horribly.
Yes.
But he was aggressive. Third game,
I'm not giving him points because 2 was a
no, I'm saying he's trying something different.
But he was bad the second game.
He was bad second game.
The first game and the second game were in the same bucket for me.
Third game, he tried to not be aggressive and get the team going, involved. And that was the wrong decision.
This is true.
I don't think that was a matter. I think at that point, not that he had the defense figured out, but I feel like he knew he could be consistent against them from there. Because the next game he went off.
This is true.
So I
Which
think at the
made me-
third game, he knew what to do, but he was like, I want to get the team. He wanted to be on his LeBron shit.
I think he truly forgot that it was the playoffs for a second, and he didn't have only 2 games left to win this bitch.
That's fair.
And completely did like I said, he was trying to get the team more involved, trying to be more of a playmaker. That's not how this team works.
Like, I saw him trying. That's the thing.
the effort was there.
Kyrie, there were points in time where I'm like, oh, is Kyrie on the floor?
I feel like
I didn't even see him. So, like, for entire quarters where he out there.
I feel like Kyrie kind of knew this joint was over after game 2. And I feel like that's where I truly saw like the dip. And like I said, he did have a game where he completely showed up. But after game 2,
and it's unfortunate that they lost game 1 because
it was a close
that
game.
was just a really great play.
It was a great, honestly, one of the better basketball games I've seen in a while.
It. I'm mad.
Really? No, that was a great game.
It was on Easter and I was with my family.
Oh my gosh.
I had it on my phone for most of the time, but I missed like the key
Nah,
points.
Tatum's bucket was like that, but the whole play was like that. I mean, they were just good basketball. But nah, after game 2, I think you could really see the difference in team quality, and the Celtics just had it in the bench, in the starting lineup, in the coaching. Everything was there. It was a full team, and the Nets are Kyrie, KD, and let's hope
Nick Claxton, fucking
I like Nick.
Gordon
I
Dragic.
like what Nick Claxton brings, but when you make your first free throw in game 4, you're probably not helping your team win games.
And then didn't he miss like 10 straight?
He made his first free throw of the series in game 4. He was 0 of 11 before it.
Unless you're Shaq, that doesn't work.
He is not Shaq.
Yeah,
Not even close. I'm gonna be honest with you.
light years. But I
think-
would say Kyrie's first, KD second. Front office is third. Front office is third.
front office though. I'm putting Steve Nash for the front
Steve Nash is. Okay, what can you ask Steve Nash? Like honestly, what can you expect Steve Nash to do in that situation? I really don't. I don't see any path that he really had to actually coach this team.
Did he?
Like Kyrie. Like, honestly, I always go back to what Kyrie said 2 years ago.
Who were all coaches?
I'm like, that's honestly kind of how it feels. Like, it'd be one thing if that wasn't how it went down, but that's honestly how it's going
I feel
down.
like LeBron's helped coach some teams, but nobody cares because he won the games. You feel me?
And I feel like on LeBron's best teams, that wasn't the case. I feel like on the years where LeBron doesn't win, when David Blatt's the coach, yeah, he's not going to win a championship that year.
David Blatt. The fact that you brought up that name.
Yeah, like, that's a Steve Nash level nigga in terms of coaching. New to the NBA. And trying to learn. Like, Steve Nash is the second year head coach.
This is my thing.
And this isn't like a real team.
He lost to a first year head coach, and that head coach clearly outcoached him.
Yeah, but this Boston team has been together for about 4 or 5 years now. They've been to 2 conference finals.
They had a smoother,
this team has a good chemistry.
They had a smoother transition between Brad Stevens and I'm forgetting this coach's name now, but
M.A. something.
All right, you're also forgetting his name now, but
First name, right?
yeah, and the change between Brooklyn. I don't even remember who the coach before Steve Nash was, honestly.
Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, the transition wasn't probably not nearly as smooth now that we're deep in it. But no, I saw Steve Nash clearly getting out coached.
But this is what they want, bro. They want a guy who's not going to get super involved and call them out.
I'm gonna keep real with you. I understand this is like KD wanted a laid back coach that lets him do his thing, kind of run his own team. I'm starting to get to the point where this might not be it for KD. KD doesn't need this. KD needs to find another Warriors team.
The problem is he can't do that because the Warriors can never sign him again because there's no cap to do that with. Like, all their niggas are 20 million or more. So
I know what you mean.
You can't sign him again. Besides that, you're not going to find another Warrior situation. Like, this is going to go down as one of the dumbest things a player has done in terms of moving teams. Because he left a situation that was perfect. If he had won like 4 other championships with them or whatever, like how many, because that team, if they were like healthy for a while playing, who knows how many championships they would have won.
Fair.
And if they win one this year, it's going to look real bad. So the fact that he left them, that's going to look bad for him. He's still going to be an all-time great player, but I feel like if he had won like a couple more championships with them, his all-time ranking would have been way higher than what's end up going to be. If this team's going to go how it's going to go, right? Like how we see it.
I don't think he was ever really going to leave and find a better team than what the Warriors were.
Because there's no better team.
From their peak. Yeah. Obviously, like we said, we think that Warriors team is one of the best teams to ever play basketball.
Yeah.
But like, he needs to just sit around and wait for the next closest best thing, whatever.
He signed for like 4 years.
Hey, bro, if I've seen any league where niggas kind of just get up and move, it's the NBA.
Before we leave this topic,
We're leaving the whole topic?
no, well, the Nets are kind of their own topic in and of themselves.
Go ahead.
Because no team has this much drama.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Kyrie should be re-signed this summer? He's a free agent.
Yes.
Do you feel that that's the direction? Because if you re-sign Kyrie, this is going to be your team for the next 3 to 4 years. Kyrie even said in the interview, he said, we're looking for 4 years of dominance. You re-sign him, do you expect them to put it together? Or do you think that's a mistake?
If they keep Steve Nash, I think they re-sign Kyrie. If they let Steve Nash go and actually try to build an actual team, I think letting go of Kyrie is the way you start that. Because Kyrie, at the end of the day,
it's hard. It's hard to do that.
Kyrie is so talented, but he does not love basketball.
But you lose him for nothing. That's hard.
That's fair. And recent trends in the NBA, niggas don't like losing.
And I don't think
KD
can hold it together for an entire season.
You gotta.
KD has not shown me in the past 2 years he could hold it now for
I'm
the
not
entire
expecting
season.
if we lose KD if we lose Kyrie this season, I'm not expecting KD to win us a championship by himself. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But if we keep Kyrie, I'm not expecting a championship out of them next season either. So I think you let go of Kyrie and you try the next best thing, whatever it may be.
But you have nothing. Hold on. They have nothing and they have no draft.
They're not gonna have anything to show for Kyrie, whether they keep him or they lose him.
Do you have that much faith in Ben Simmons?
No, but you need to build something here.
But there's not. What I'm saying is there's nothing to build. Like you don't have draft picks.
I understand. They
You have
a
a
lot.
superstar, and you're capped out because both Ben Simmons and him are worth.
You bring in a new coach that actually knows what team building is. You let go of Kyrie, you let him do his thing. I understand he doesn't have the resources, but you use the fact that you have KD on this team and you use his star power to recruit and you make it happen. The cap is gonna work itself out. You do have to let some people go though. Next year's not gonna be pretty.
If I were them, I would beg Kyrie to accept his player option. Like I'd beg.
I think in the common business of the NBA, he's gonna decline that.
Most likely.
Yeah.
But that to me is the only way. Because if you can get 1 year out of this and just see what happens. Because the one thing, Kyrie, there's not going to be a mandate. So he's going to be able to play all
the full
year
season.
next year.
The excuse of that will be gone.
I want to see that all together 1 year and see what happens. Because if they have at least Kyrie and KD for at least 60 games for the season, I feel like that could be a top 4 seed in the East, and you have a chance to win a championship. And I'm not a fan of what Kyrie did. I think he's a horrible teammate. I think he is overrated at this stage. I think it's fair to say it now.
We got to put it as simple as this. Kyrie has, if we're talking point guard in the NBA, I think it's clearly top 8. Clearly top 8 point guard in the NBA.
But he's one of the point guards that at the shooting guard that's point guard size. He's not a point guard, and that's to me the problem. I think
not naturally he is, but we all know the position he plays. I think Steph could easily be a 2. He's just not that big, but nonetheless.
Well, they have a point guard, Draymond, who does the playmaking.
Like I said, it just matters how you fit in your offense. But
no, but what I'm saying is
we compare Kyrie as a 1, and he's top 8. But I don't think Kyrie has the want. You feel me? He's not just that interested in basketball. He could hoop on pretty much anyone that guards him. You feel me? He was, to my knowledge, he was one of the reasons James Harden left the Nets. He was tired of that nigga in general. You feel me? Because so talented, yet he's a human being. Don't get it wrong. His life doesn't have to be basketball, but you can tell basketball isn't the number 1 priority when he wakes up in the day. That's just not the same case for a lot of these people out here. I feel like you could ask a lot of these players who not as good as Kyrie, and they'll clearly tell you basketball is the number 1 priority in life, and that's just not the same for Kyrie. So you have to understand what you're getting with that.
Well said. So the other series weren't as dramatic as that.
We got to just get the ones that were washed out in the way. Do you think the Bulls stand more of a chance with Lonzo being healthy? No. All right, that was washed.
When Chris Middleton was out and they still washed them, that showed me a lot.
All right, so there's no discussion there.
No.
All right, what happened in the West that got washed? The Suns Pelicans was actually not that bad of a series.
Warriors Nuggets was a wash.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be one though.
Why? They didn't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr.
But like
you're going against the Warriors.
They definitely. I feel like
And Jokic, while I think he's a very good player, he's not an impact player where it's like he's going to get this team to win by any means. He's not going to do that.
He can't keep up with this Warriors team by himself. That's just not him.
Like, he could win. There's some other teams who they could have gone against. I feel like they could have beat the Jazz.
I like how the Nuggets are built, and I thought they were going to be more of a challenge to this Warriors team.
I thought this was a bad matchup. I think that they could have, if they face like the Pelicans or whatever.
Nobody wants to play the Warriors. Let's keep it true with that.
Right.
But nah, they definitely got the worst or round one matchup they could pick.
The worst matchups for them or the Warriors, of course, and the Grizzlies. Those are the two teams where I'm like, oh, they get swept probably.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I feel like they could have given them a good challenge. But decent season though. Respect to them.
Whatever you call a decent season.
Hey, you lose your three best players, and the other dude wins MVP.
Yeah,
Shit.
I mean that's what it is.
So, Suns.
You think he's going to MVP this year?
Absolutely.
Jokic?
I think he had the highest PER of all time. That's like including Wilt Chamberlain.
I think Joel might get it.
I think Joel is the MVP in terms of like what I would pick. But what everybody's saying like in the media is like they've all voted for him.
I'm going with Joel. Stink pick. Nonetheless.
That'd be dope.
Who's the Sixers first series?
They played the
Raptors and they almost folded. Oh my gosh! Did you hear Doc Rivers' speech when it was 3-1 about the like what he did with teams in the past? And I was like, "Go ahead, Doc, defend your honor, bro.
I feel like on this
defend your honor."
I feel like on this podcast, I've unleashed my Doc Rivers slander, right?
I think you've slandered his career more than enough, yes.
So I'm not gonna slander any further. You know, good for him. He got through last series, but we will see what happens within the next couple days.
He's not up 3-1 in this one.
Hey, you know, like that's good for him because there's no pressure. My thing is whenever the bad thing about Doc Rivers is whenever there's like a lead in the series, it's always that question mark.
And that's how it happened in Toronto. They got up 3-1 and the next thing you know it was 3-2 and everyone didn't know what to do.
And it almost feels like it's always inevitable.
Like I said, he's not up 3-1 in this one.
We'll see. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a different breed.
He might get a 3-2.
We all know his issue.
Honestly, if that happened, that'd be kind of wild.
His issue was closed out. I don't think it's that wild if Joel's back to see the series go 3-2.
If they go 3-2 and then lose the last two games,
look, we gonna let it. If they get to 3-2,
you add that on to Doc's like little like. I feel like people are keeping a list of all. I feel like the media is certainly catching on to the fact that Doc's a little overrated.
Nah, I think Doc is trying to feel like y'all slandering this nigga like he don't have a Hall of Fame coaching career.
I remember like. I'll leave it there. We'll see. I like the Sixers. I like Joel Embiid.
Word.
I like James Harden.
Word.
But Doc is definitely a tiny anchor.
Word. Not a Hall of Fame coach with the rest of them.
He's a Hall of Fame anchor. That's what he is. So,
best type of anchor to have, right?
Who else? We're trying to think of the matchups. Oh, we said Bucks.
Bulls already done.
Heat and.
Damn. Don't remember who we played. Just watched them.
Yeah, they watched them.
They absolutely watched them.
Sorry, team, we don't remember.
Wow.
I really don't remember.
No, me neither.
That series was like.
It's so forgettable.
Damn.
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, that's always gonna blow me home.
We all know they were in the playoffs.
It wasn't Boston. It wasn't.
They lost. It's so sad. You think we'll be able to get this off soon? We just watched.
We like basketball too.
I watch playoff basketball more than I watch regular season basketball. But
did we get everybody in the West?
Nope.
Suns Pelicans. Nuggets. The Nuggets series, we did that.
We did Suns Pelicans. We didn't do.
Mavs Jazz.
We didn't do Mavs Jazz. We didn't do Memphis.
That was an interesting series.
We didn't do Memphis. Who Memphis played?
Memphis played
Minnesota. We haven't talked about that.
All right, that was it. And that was the two we missed, right?
Phoenix. Pelicans.
We talked about that. We
And
didn't really, but we was like nothing really to say.
And it was
Chris Paul just went off.
It was Hawks Miami, which actually wasn't that bad of a series. The Hawks didn't show up at all, but the series was fun to watch.
That was a horrible series. What are you talking about? Trae Young was horrible.
But like the basketball that was being played in the series wasn't that bad. But outside of Trae,
I'm glad you like. All I saw was a bunch of red, and it was just horrible.
Both teams were wearing red, but
no, that's not That's what I'm saying.
I feel
All I
like
saw was a lot of red and a lot of bad Trae Young, and that's not what I wanted to see.
that's fair. Trae Young didn't show up.
I like Trae Young a lot as a player. Watching him get decimated by this really great team.
They played good defense.
Fun. It reminded me how good Miami is.
I liked watching. Obviously, Miami ended up watching them in the series, but I like the matchups that were given through the Miami Hawks series, and it was kind of fun to watch.
It put things in perspective. Where I'm like, okay, this team is for real in terms of they are liable to make the conference finals.
They're not the number one seed on accident. I think it's
exactly for sure.
But it's been a while since.
And the Hawks are not as good as we thought they were. Like compared.
I didn't think they were that good, if I'm being honest. They don't play defense like that.
That's fair. Jazz Mavs was a very interesting one in terms of.
I remember talking to my homie and we were talking about that series and how do you feel about the Mavs going in without Luka? And I was like, if there's any team you don't want to have your star player for, it's the Jazz. And I just
out of all the teams in the West, absolutely.
It's the Jazz. If I don't have my star player, I can take on the Jazz and still come out alive. And I feel like the Mavs proved my point to a T.
You need to break it up. Just put it out there.
You think it's time to blow it up?
You gotta blow it up right now. You're wasting too much money for the results you're getting. I like Donovan Mitchell. He's at this game. I like Donovan Mitchell. The problem is Donovan Mitchell doesn't play enough defense.
This is fair.
And he goes cold at very key points.
I'll say this: his hope is, he might have one of the least talented offensive teams with him in terms, and they did great offense with Bogdanovic there. He's honestly perfect for that team. But at the same time, I feel like when Don's cold, it's a bunch of heads looking around for somebody to fix it, and nobody's there to fix it.
3 years ago, nobody would have took Devin Booker over Donovan Mitchell.
Fair.
Now it doesn't even seem like it's a contest between those two.
Also fair.
Devin Booker has evolved his game to a point where he is, when Chris Paul is out or out of the lineup for any reason, he can kind of shoulder a little bit of the playmaking duty.
This is fair.
Donovan Mitchell has not been able to do that. He does not have a Chris Paul to do this with.
Mike Conley was supposed to be his Chris Paul, but we clearly know Mike Conley isn't Chris
It's almost like the Suns followed their same format, just with better niggas.
Look, Donovan isn't the playmaker that you want him to be.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I do believe if he had a proper wingman, or even just a proper built offensive team, we'd see a different Donovan. Anytime he didn't show this consistency, it wouldn't affect the team as much as it affects the Jazz.
What this showed me is he's not untradeable. That's what this series
showed
definitely. Before this series, I didn't think that. Before this series, I was like, you build around him.
No.
Now it's like, no. He needs to be the second best player on a good team.
I think that works for him.
I'm not saying they'd ever do this, but trade him. You can trade him straight up for Jaylen Brown. And I think that's a fair trade. Yeah. You put him next to a star guy who's on the same trajectory almost.
Maybe his playmaking improves, maybe not. We'll see.
Right.
But if he's
this right now is him and the best player on the team. This is the ceiling.
His playmaking doesn't look as good because I feel like the team he also plays for, he's just not surrounded by talent like that.
Absolutely.
It's the truth.
But that's just the reality of things.
That is the reality.
If he was drafted to a different team and got to play with Luka or something, okay, cool.
The Mavs immediately built the team around Luka. There was no hesitation.
Hell, Mavs, if you can get Donovan Mitchell,
that would be perfect. Oh my God.
If you get Donovan Mitchell, I don't care how many draft picks it takes.
Dinwiddie, send it.
Draft picks,
send it.
Dinwiddie,
keep Brunson if you can.
Kleber, all of them.
Keep Brunson if you can. That's a nice pickup. But nonetheless,
absolutely. Brunson until he was ass, he had some good games.
Truly breakout seasons. I gotta give props.
That was a series.
Nah, truly breakout season. So shout outs to the Jazz for creating a little bit of a dialogue.
I'm sorry, just the reason why I'm saying they need to break it up, just in total. You lose a game with there's two close games. You win one close and you lose one close with Doncic out. You gotta break it up. That Mavs team is not that good without Luka.
Should not be good enough to be that Jazz.
I hear what you're saying. That is a shame. That's honestly a failure of roster building.
Look,
I like Jordan Clarkson. I like Rudy Gobert. It's not enough.
I don't think
you're capped out.
That is that great of a team. I think because they play great defense and they have a good structure, and I'll give Quinn Snyder his credits. I think he works well.
Not a bad coach.
He works well with what he has.
Keep him.
But at the same time, you got to understand where your limits are. If you're okay with getting washed in the first, second round, because that's as far as y'all getting with this team, then continue this team. But I'll say we're blowing it up. You got to have some type of direction. Who's staying? Who's going? Are we blowing it up and keeping Gobert? We're blowing up and keeping who?
Both of them gone.
What are
Restart.
we? I've seen it blown up from zero. It's not a pretty
I
picture.
would trade Ben Simmons for Rudy Gobert straight up. Straight up. Just straight up.
What would you do with Ben Simmons?
If you're blowing it up, at least have him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least you have some semblance of, like, you're gonna rebuild. And that's gonna be a lottery team.
You want to rebuild about Ben Simmons?
He can be a piece as you draft other guys.
Oof.
I feel like I like Ben Simmons' potential more than Rudy Gobert. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
I don't really have much respect for Rudy Gobert.
I don't think Rudy Gobert is gonna get much better than this.
And I'm saying, like, I'd rather have the 25-year-old nigga who might turn into something, as opposed to this nigga who can't score at all.
I'll say this.
And I think the Nets could use him.
I think you need to acknowledge the difference in it. Like, Rudy Gobert doesn't lead the league on blocks on accident year after year. I don't know if he led it this year, actually. I think that was actually
Jared
Jackson. But still, I mean, I don't think he was far off. And he lost by 20 this game. I think that's a big factor with Joel being back. This game ended 99-79.
Oh, the game ended?
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I was so hoping that this series wasn't gonna be a sweep. God.
Nah, Joel didn't even have truly his best game, but he showed up and he's back. I think he made the difference.
Any nigga who has the mask, I don't care what they put up. Their presence is all that's needed to me.
Talk about the mask. All right. Back to
because we always see like Vince, Kobe, you know, every player has
Rudy
that.
Gobert is not the player you build a team around, but he definitely could be a real feature in the championship team.
On that Nets team with KD and Kyrie, I think that works.
I don't think it wins the championship.
That's what they have right now.
This is true. They need help. We all know that, though.
Yeah. So, is that it?
We didn't touch on the Warriors.
Is there anything else?
Jordan Poole, congrats on actually showing up and being a real pivotal part of this team. You've truly shown that you're here to stay, and shout outs to you.
On earlier podcasts, I said I had to see it to believe it about these Warriors.
Nick said blow it up, just saying it.
I didn't say blow it up. I said that they're probably going to be like a 7 or 8 seed when Klay comes back, because he's going to be coming back kind of rusty.
And I said
I was completely wrong.
That was blasphemy, I said.
I was completely wrong.
It's true. I appreciate you saying it.
This is good. I doubted my favorite player in the league currently. I don't know why I doubted Steph Curry. I don't know why.
I said they'd be tough for it. Nick said no way.
The one thing you didn't predict, though, is that Jordan Poole will be as good as he is.
Not even close.
Jordan Poole is, to me, the difference in them last year and this year.
I think
more than Klay, because they were rolling before Klay even came back.
Yes and no. I think they've truly built another bench rotation like they had in the years that they.
This
they
reminds me of that 2015,
truly.
2016
team. Obviously he's hurt now, but Gary Payton II's a dog.
Hopefully he comes back in the finals. Hopefully. If they're there.
So, but no, they've truly. Looney actually going into a backup Ben NBA player. I kind of always knew this was his role, but he's actually grown into it flawlessly.
Yeah.
This is
the Warriors have always had that center who does something.
Gets in the game, gets you a couple rebounds, puts up a random three, gets out the game.
Space before. I miss Marty Space. He was good.
They had Zaza do it.
Yeah.
For a little bit. So they're good at plugging and playing and replacing. And I really truly see a good team.
They're the Spurs of our time.
I would not be surprised to see this team in the finals.
They're my favorite to come out of the West at this point. I like the Suns, but I do think that will be a 7-game series, and I would predict the Warriors.
I got the Warriors in it.
That'd be a crazy series. I think that's it.
Memphis.
I don't want to talk about that.
What do you mean? The Memphis Timberwolves series was great basketball. You can't, Nick, at least say that.
It was so stupid basketball.
It was so fun to watch till they did it was young teams going against each other.
I've never felt more stupid cheering for a team in my entire life.
Did you not enjoy yourself?
I enjoy myself at certain points.
It was great
but
basketball.
There was watching Anthony Edwards, and I love it. Dude had one of the clutchest shots I've seen from a young nigga in a playoff game.
And then immediately fuck it up.
Just immediately had the wrong defensive mindset, gets blown by, and that's a series almost.
Yeah.
That put him 3 games to 2, and it just changed momentum. It's damn, bro.
It definitely showed the youth. That's why I
can't be mad at him. I'm mad at this whole team as a collective.
Look, Karl Anthony Towns is not.
Trade him. Sorry.
Oof.
Trade him.
Carl Anthony.
You build this team around
And that's fair. I'll say this.
Carl Anthony Towns has shown us who he is.
He can put up buckets. Let's not discredit. But when it comes to the defensive end of the floor, he is almost non-existent.
Here's why you need to trade him. It's not saying he's not a good player. I think Carl Anthony Towns is a top 3 center in the league.
Dying position, but continue.
Yeah, for sure. But top 3. Maybe 4 because I don't know if I can put over Bam. He's up there. The problem is, as long as he's on the Timberwolves, it's going to be seen as his team because he was the number 1 pick and he's been there this whole time. He's been the veteran on the team. He's an all-star. It's going to be hard to just give the team to Ant with him on the team. You trade him, you get because he's a valuable player.
I see what you're saying.
You get pieces back and you let this team, you basically make it the Mavs with Luka.
I see what you're saying because he's so built into the Minnesota community. He's been there his whole career, yada yada.
He's a good guy.
I truly believe this is already becoming Ant's team as we speak.
It wasn't. The problem why they lost was because it's not Ant's team. To me, I feel like Carl Anthony
Ant took the big shot, didn't he?
He did. I'm saying Anthony, like, he's great. He's a great player. I never felt like this was his team. It felt like Carl Anthony Towns was the best player.
I feel like give Ant a year or 2 to grow, because let's be real, this is early stages. Ant, I think watch him truly throw it to the player that we think he can be. It'll be no question whose team this is.
I feel it.
I could sense a little Shaq and Kobe going on where niggas are trying to fight for the, you feel me? But it's not that talent.
Is the only reason why Shaq and Kobe works is because Shaq is a top 10 player, and Kobe's a top 10 players. Oh, they're both top 10 players.
Like I said,
that's not gonna. I think you're not gonna win nothing.
Hear me out. The difference is success and talent, obviously. Yeah. But this is a mini. What we're brewing here is when one player was truly the alpha dog of the team, and now we have a new alpha dog. So someone's got to be the beta.
Yeah.
I think we let Ant grow into the alpha and see what happens. But you saying trade Cat, I'm not against.
I'm not saying trade Ant. I'm saying trade Cat.
I said Cat.
Yeah, I'm saying like
you saying trade Cat. I'm not against it truly, because if you could get something for it and truly, like I said, you don't really need a center in today's NBA. It's just not a thing. But I don't think, I'll say this, his defense is the liability in my opinion. I think truly, as long as he isn't the big man that helps in the paint like he should, we're always gonna have a problem. But at the same time, if you can't get something better or truly get that trade off and really build something from it, you keep Cat and let's see how it works. I think D'Angelo Russell is a liability as well. I don't hear anyone clamoring for his trade.
Well, his contract's not that crazy. So it's like, that's not like he produces what he makes.
I think we need to get Ant a real point guard though, because like obviously you see what Chris Paul did for Devin Booker. I think
if they get Chris Paul on this team, oh my god.
No, that's not what Chris Paul needs for his career. But
honestly, I think that would work. But if you put Chris Paul as the point,
you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, you need it. I feel like Mike Conley will be a good pickup for them. You know, I
think the Jazz would make Mike Conley a worse player. Obviously, age hasn't helped.
I don't think this is a good team.
That's fair.
I feel like he's gotten older for sure.
Yeah, I don't think age is helping either. But
and look, this age too. But James Harden's a free agent. Let's see if you can go get him.
I don't think he goes to Minnesota for any reason. But that'd be crazy.
That honestly, I feel you because it's Minnesota. But the pieces they have are a little.
It's
compelling.
an intriguing situation. As long as it's Minnesota, you're not going.
And if they if that series like kind of goes the way we think it's gonna go, if they lose, if they lose in kind of like a 4-1 fashion.
How do you think it's gonna go?
Well, I'm saying what they were saying before this last game.
All right, cool.
But because I ain't know Joel was gonna start.
I mean, neither.
But if it goes like 4-1 and they get like embarrassed at home to end the season, I don't know if James Harden's coming back.
You don't think he signs that big ass contract?
I don't think he's
that's super duper big.
I don't know if they offer it.
Oof.
I don't know if they offer it because that's one of the biggest contracts in NBA history, and we all know it's not going to be worth it.
If Embiid says offer it, I think they offer it.
I don't think Embiid will say offer it. I don't think Embiid's gonna.
This might be the best player Embiid has ever played with. You don't think he wants him to stay?
I think Jimmy Butler when he was there is better than this former James Harden.
I think
this former James. I'm not saying overall, but
I
just
see what you're saying
James.
because I don't think we've seen that signature James game. He plays a little differently. I think because of what you can get from James Harden versus what you can get from Jimmy Butler, I think James' potential breakout's a little greater than Jimmy's.
My problem with James is,
and I don't think Jimmy and Joel played that well together. For me, real.
I thought that team was good. They lost on a buzzer beater shot Kawhi that this ricocheted in. Like they were that away from going to overtime and making the conference finals. And against Giannis, I don't think Giannis beats that team either.
That's
and then you're going to the. I feel like that Sixers Warriors finals with that, because I feel like that's one of the more underrated like stacked starting fives.
It was a good team. I'll say this.
Think about Ben Simmons when he was actually a little confident.
All right.
Tobias Harris when he was actually like an all-star.
I was a fan of the team. They truly could play positionless.
They were the one team I thought that could at least like challenge Golden State in the finals.
They were playing positionless basketball. They truly had it going on. This is what I'll say. I thought, obviously, we see what Joel is now.
Yeah.
I think getting James Harden truly freed up Joel's game, because you have to respect James. You have to pay attention to him. And I think the Joel we're seeing now is because of that. I think when Jimmy was there, it was Joel who you had to guard first, and that's how it affects. So,
do you think they prefer to have Jimmy Butler now or James Harden now?
I think if they're both on 1-year deals, Jimmy. If he had a long-term contract, maybe you go Harden and see how it goes.
The problem with Harden is I don't know where he's going to be next year. I don't know if we're on, because he's 32 years old.
He's getting that big ass contract.
And he's not LeBron.
He's getting that big ass contract. In today's NBA,
is that going? Because we've seen this story before.
I'm not saying it's smart. I'm not saying it's saying it's logical.
I love Kobe, bro. Like Kobe's my favorite player ever. Those last 3 years were hard to watch. He was making the most money in the league, and it was horrible.
Absolutely not at the peak of his game.
I accepted that as a Laker fan because it's Kobe. The Sixers fans have no allegiance to. Like, he has been here for half a year.
I don't know
if you can just sign him if he plays awful for them.
I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't know what the timeline is. Someone's going to pay him that big ass contract.
Kings might.
Stop putting the Kings in situations.
He'll sign him with the Kings.
Someone's gonna pay him.
Somebody. I don't know. I agree with you though. All right, so just last question: who you expect to get out the East?
Did we really talk about the Ja series, or did we just talk about how bad
we talked about it?
We talked about the Timberwolves. We did not mention Memphis once.
All right, shout out Ja.
Ja truly.
Shout out Bane. Shout out Desmond Bane.
Ja is truly at 6'4" Giannis in the terms like nobody can stop that.
He's 6'2".
I thought he was 6'4". 6'2". All right,
that's what to me makes it more impressive.
I'm going 6'3.5". Either way, the guy gets in the paint effortlessly, and like it just amazes me how consistently he could do it. So like when I'm talking like some of the best players in basketball, I think Ja is really a shot away from being an MVP level player if he's not already now.
He's a more controlled Derrick Rose. Because Derrick Rose, even when I was watching, I was like, a man shouldn't be able to move like this. Like this looks dangerous. Ja has that same level of athleticism, but to me it's just a different feel to him. Whereas I don't feel like he's out of control.
I don't think D Rose ever gave me out of control as much as he was just so athletic.
Some of the stuff he would do, it was so extravagant. I don't think I've ever seen like point guard basketball like that.
That pogo stick dunk, I definitely see what you're saying, but I still think in the way he ran an offense, the way he played together, like D Rose shot was better than Josh shot. Like I feel like.
Ooh, that's close.
No,
D Rose shot wasn't that great.
D Rose shot, in my opinion, I mean, Josh showing it this series, but like D Rose shot over time was better than Josh shot. I trusted D Rose to make this 3 more than I trusted Josh. Like I said, two different.
That's a stretch, but
two different points in their career at the moment. But like, nah, I think D Rose's offensive game is a little more polished, but Josh is growing within the game. I feel like he can't be stopped in the paint. He truly is getting to the rim at will. His shots, I mean, Golden State's making him shoot, and he's shooting it.
I do feel like this is an unfortunate series.
He had to play them eventually.
I know. I would have liked him to at least lose to them in the conference finals because I just don't see them beat. I know it's tied now, right?
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, I just don't see it. If he does this
would be impressive.
He catapults really high amongst the young men.
I think Jaren Jackson is actually the key to this series, as weird as it sounds.
If he doesn't foul out.
No, because when he's on the court, they're really a game changer.
He's trying to be known as the best defensive player in the league.
And he's going against.
He's definitely top 5.
If not the best defender, one of the best defenders in the league. So I think this for matchup, if we're matching it up like player for player, this series is just it's fun to watch. It's just good basketball.
Yeah,
overall.
Draymond's not in terms of stats like winning any awards, but everybody knows that he is. Yeah,
we know his impact.
Just incredible.
All right, what was your question? You asked me a question.
Who's coming out of the East?
The East?
The East. Because we said the Warriors. We both said the Warriors for the West.
Bucks.
That's a good I hope that happens.
I'm going with Bucks. Bucks Warriors.
Well,
I think we talked playoff basketball.
we did.
It's only been probably 30 minutes.
More or less. So let's get to our rapid fire really quick.
Oh my God.
Unless you want to do top 5 first.
Nah, go ahead, nigga. I'm letting you lead this one anyway.
All right. So, rapid fire. Charles Oliveira missed weight.
What a shame.
I feel bad. I feel bad for dude.
I do not.
I feel bad for dude.
Man had one job.
He has to fight too. It's a couple jobs. Yes.
Man had one job going into the weigh-in.
But he has a lot of other jobs.
One job going into the weigh-in, bro. It's to make weight.
I wouldn't even want.
It's not like he didn't see the weigh-in coming. It's been on schedule for how long? Come on, Nick.
I don't feel like it happens like that, bro.
Nick,
I feel like there's a lot of other
you know how
factors.
the fight process. It's not his first title defense.
Like you've seen like MMA documentaries where they're cutting weight. Like
It's
that
not-
shit does not. It's not how you're thinking. Where it's like.
It's not simp. I know what you're talking about. Niggas
Like I've literally seen Cyborg crying in a fucking tub of ice, just like in searing pain trying to cut weight. So I
understand
can't
the
like say
process.
I can't feel bad.
He's
for him.
he's been doing it his whole career, bro, and he does not have a short MMA career. This man's been fighting for a while. This is
He's
not
like 33.
news.
Yeah, he's
This is
veteran.
not news for him. Him missing weight is embarrassing. He had so
It's
long.
very embarrassing. I'm not saying it's not.
He had so long to do this. I have no sorrow for the nigga.
I'm sorry for dude. But overall, do you see Justin winning this fight?
I'll never doubt Justin Gaethje because of that fucking fist of his. But at the same time, Christian Oliveira is the better fighter. So only time will tell.
I want to see Justin win, so Colin, or I keep saying we're going Holland. Connor can get a shot at the belt.
Connor does not need a shot right now. Connor,
He's gonna get a shot.
he needs a warm up match at best right now.
This is gonna be the war.
He's
match.
not going straight into a shot, Nick. You're wilding.
I think he's gonna get done. I feel it's gonna be the last shot for him to. But Dana's gonna want to get him.
Connor's
on
got
this.
2 to 3 fights before I hear even title shot.
Because here's the problem with what you're thinking.
With
What
my
if
thinking,
he loses in the warm up fight?
Then there's no fight. There's no title fight.
For Dana, that doesn't make sense.
Bro.
Dana's not like Dana. Probably thinking the same thing.
You are not Dana. I'm
But
not
you-
worried about how you thinking, Nick.
But you know that he
Connor's
wants,
first fight is not a title fight, nor is it the
is.
second
It has
one.
to be.
It's not. No, not where his career is now. I'm sorry. Yes, he's the name, but Connor still has to prove he can fight.
If
So
he
I'm not
loses
throwing
a
him.
tune-up match, then you lose your biggest your pay-per-view draw.
You gonna have to
lose
make-
him.
you
so
gonna
you
have-
might as well get one more out of him. And hell, if he wins, then shit.
This division needs some shakeup anyway. If Connor bowing out of this division and changing weight classes, whatever he needs to do to get his career on track happens, it is what it is. But I don't give Connor a title fight after even the second tune-up fight. I'm
Is
sorry.
Dana fair? Like if in a fair world, I agree with you. But Dana's not fair.
Dana be doing whatever. But
So I think Dana's going to look at the dollar signs
I
of the
trust-
pay-per-view, and he's going to be like, "Yeah, we're going to give him the fight back," and he wants it.
Obviously,
Because you know he's not going to want to
this
fight.
results of the results of this fight obviously have impact on this next decision. But I mean, I'm like I said before,
Honestly,
we
I don't
talked
know.
about-
Either way, I think there's a chance you can get him a shot.
if Oliveira wins it, now we have to have this whole get the title fight back run. So let's be true. I don't think Connor has anything to do with that. Not coming off of injury. No, he's not part of that race right now.
Do you think Connor would want a tune-up fight?
I don't care what Connor wants.
But I'm saying, do you think Connor wants a tune-up fight?
I think he should.
Do you think, in terms of what you've seen so far,
If you
do you think
offer
he's gonna
Conor,
ask
if
him?
you offer Conor McGregor a title fight, he's gonna take it.
And do you
I
think
don't think-
Dana's gonna turn that down?
I don't think a fighter in the world is gonna turn down a
No.
title fight.
All right, we established that. Do you think Dana will turn him down?
Yes.
Why?
If the
Well,
situation
I don't
presents-
see. See, that's what I don't see. I don't
If
see Dana turning
he's
down
not. If he
millions of
if
dollars.
he runs up to Dana right now and says, "Give me a title fight," I think Dana says, "No, get yourself a warm-up fight. Let me see what you got." I don't think Dana is a wild nigga, but I think Dana still has a little common sense in it.
If he loses the tune-up fight,
Then
you
that's
lose
it.
your biggest pay-per-view draw.
That's-
So
that's the
why-
situation.
Why not just cash in?
I don't think you need to force that one as much as you think they do.
I feel like you're thinking of it from a purity standpoint.
I'm just
of-
thinking how
of
I
he
think-
doesn't deserve it, and I agree with you. He doesn't deserve it.
Deserve,
But
not deserve. Look at the welterweight. We're not talking big names left and right.
That's the point.
I
That's
see
my
what
point.
I see what you're saying, but I also see if Conor can't beat any of these big name niggas, we're not wasting anyone else's time. We can move on to the next chapter.
Like we've seen niggas like Randy Savage come back. I don't Randy Savage. What's his name? Randy Couture. We've seen niggas come back and get championship fights.
This is fine.
Like,
Connor's got to
there's
prove it.
precedent. Dana doesn't care about that kind of stuff.
Connor for me has to get 1 or 2 fights in before I give him a championship out. I say let this Oliveira situation work itself out and let him build up a little hype. It'll be even more money than what we're talking about now.
We'll agree to disagree, but I feel you. I respect that.
It's too soon. Connor doesn't even. We don't even know where Connor is as a health-wise as an athlete.
No, I damn sure don't. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that at all. I'm just saying.
Timeline is too random.
Dana's history has shown he does not care.
He'll do shit for the ratings. I've seen it before. He'll probably do it again. I just don't think with an athlete like McGregor, you could end up doing what you did with the Ronda Rousey, where they just kept throwing her the fights that she was not prepared to do. And getting washed, and now she's the WWE
I'm
fighter.
sure if you asked Dana, would you rather give her a tune-up fight and then she lost that, and you don't get, huh? Oh, camera. Oh, audio's still good. How you said that?
I mean, I had to say that immediately. It wasn't something that could wait.
But why though?
It makes 2 of us. That's the question.
Let's see. Hold on.
Jeez. See, this is a good part where the music, what I was talking about, the background music, because sometimes we be having silence in our pod, so like background music would not hurt nobody.
Fair enough. Honestly, I thought it was a good idea. I've seen podcasts do it.
This definitely good.
All right, so we good.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, Nick. I wish you luck in the editing portion of this. That's true.
Honestly, I think my mistake last time was stopping it. I feel like that was a mistake.
All right.
But
learn as you go.
Besides that,
this is supposed to be quick fire.
I mean, that was way quicker than the playoff shit.
Nick, that was the actual topic. This is turning into an actual topic.
The next one's gonna be a little shorter than Kevin Samuels today passed away.
The story's kind of weird how it's being broken out. Like nobody knows how for real it is.
I'll put it like this: I'm waiting to hear more.
I mean, his mom.
It just feels weird.
His mom found out through social media. Like nobody hit her up. Nothing. Like,
it's like, look, anybody can die at any point in time.
This is fair.
If you picked, or if you had like 5 57-year-old niggas, I feel like he's probably gonna, like, in terms of like, he looked like he's a fit nigga. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't like he was having any problems. Maybe there's some problems we didn't know about. I don't know. I'm waiting to just hear more because it doesn't feel right.
Anyone's going or like through. Apparently, the woman he was with the night before said he was having chest pains.
And she's a nurse. You know,
it's an ugly situation. Like I said, waiting for details is probably the best, but not. I mean. 57 is not old people, so like
not old at all. To have a heart attack and die, you know,
check
and you had a nurse with you, so it wasn't even like, it'd be one thing if he was like alone, you know, and then you had a heart attack. It's just, it's crazy.
So your people.
R.I.P. to him. Shouts out to his family. Hopefully, y'all getting through this horrible time, with love and grace. But besides that, let's talk about this Dave Chappelle thing. I don't think there's too much to talk about, just because, I mean, you kind of, I had thoughts on it initially, and then you broke down just why it's not what I was thinking. So kind of go ahead with what you think.
Niggas do anything for clout. Does Will Smith have any, like, I feel like people are trying to blame Will Smith for this. I feel like
it's like a residual impact type thing.
It's very hard for me to blame someone for their actions where obviously he's a famous person, he has influence on the world, but like he did his thing on his own accord. It had nothing to do with the rest of us. So like the fact that people are seeing what he's doing and thinking they can emulate that or to use that as inspiration, I can't blame him for that. That truly has very little to do with him. So like
I feel you.
It's a shame what that person did, and he was armed with weapons. I think he didn't have a real gun. I think it was
he had a gun that apparently shot knives. That's what I saw.
Where you getting this information from, Nick?
The streets.
All right, say no more. So now that Nick has official information, I don't know what the fuck niggas have nowadays. Since I'm real with you, you better off just having a normal gun, because the gun that shoots knives, I feel like there's some flaws there. But yeah,
I've heard that, and I've heard it's a prop gun.
Yeah,
I've heard two things.
I've heard prop gun. I haven't heard gun.
So who knows which one's propaganda and which one's the other one?
That's some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shit. I'm gonna be real with you. So
what? Yeah, prop gun?
No, a gun with knives, nigga. What the fuck?
That's some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shit.
Nigga, doesn't it sound like that? Like shooting like ninja stars or whatever? All right, you see the vision. Nonetheless,
like what? I never seen no episode that they have a gun that shoots knives.
But it sounds like some shit that could be in that world. Like it's some next level.
That seems
shit.
like maybe some Ben 10 shit.
All right, now I feel like you missing the point. Nonetheless,
maybe it's some cartoon shit. You mean
this shit?
Some Cartoon Network shit.
This shit sounds some. It really do sound like niggas is doing whatever for clout. So at the end of the day, famous people truly need to be saved because the stage is not the sacred place it once used to be. I'm happy Dave Chappelle, truly my favorite comedian, someone I look up to in the world in terms of just how they look at life and what they go around with doing things. You feel me? So like I fuck with Dave heavy. So like if Dave would have got killed the other day, I'd have been heartbroken. I probably wouldn't have done this episode. True story. So
that's like Kobe dying. Yeah.
On everything I love, I'm happy he's okay. But like famous people, y'all gotta be careful. Security, y'all are doing a terrible job in recent memory. I mean, obviously, it's like
chill. That's not the security's fault.
Look,
like that is hard. Like,
I feel like being a security guy is like being a ref. When you do your job, nobody cares. But when you fuck up, everybody mad at you.
Bruh, the one thing that put things in perspective in regards to security. Do you remember the Timberwolves Grizzlies game where the white girl was she tried to run onto the court? You see that one?
No, I probably missed that.
So it happened, I think, game 3, I believe, in Minnesota.
Sure.
She tried to run on the court. The security guard is literally I guess there maybe she's talking to a friend or something like that. And the security guard is just like eyeing them. And her reaction was crazy to the girl, like trying to dive on the court. Like she grabbed her immediately. Even then, she still got on the court because she's sitting courtside.
They can only do so much, yeah.
Like all these, this group in particular, they're activists that literally pay money for some activists to sit in the courtside seats just to run out. No security can stop that.
But security starts at the door, my nigga.
That's true.
That man got in there with those weapons.
Who knows who he knew on the inside? I don't believe he got in there with those weapons. I feel like there was some other shit that happened.
We are talking on perspectives me and you don't know the truth of. So at the end of the day, security dropped a ball somewhere. Someone's an inside man, whatever the situation may be. Security has dropped the ball somewhere. So like, yeah, I'm be real with you. Security got to step your shit up. It's the situation at hand. Motherfuckers is gonna get killed. Like I think we discussed this earlier.
I feel like
someone's gonna get really hurt.
But it shouldn't have to rely on security.
Who else are we relying on?
People mindset, like that mindset needs to change. Like we can't just expect security to handle every single person, bruh.
That's kind of how we're expecting it.
Nah, bruh, because just I feel like this wasn't like a big thing before.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is more like we've always seen every now and then.
The Travis Scott incident definitely didn't help.
That's true. But we've seen like a lot of people do maybe some crazy shit running out. Like we've seen it, but it's never been as consistent.
It's very consistent.
I feel like it's happened at least like 20 times in a day.
It literally happens like twice a month at this rate.
That's not like we can't act like security can only get so good. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, and maybe it's down to the.
Like you want security holding guns and shit, like making this shit real, like because there are like places in the world where this shit like that don't happen. Do we really want that? I don't want that. I don't want security.
I think there's a balance because let's be real. I mean, it does come down to whoever's hosting the event, how tight they want security, how they want the event to be run. You know, maybe they want it to be a little more loose. You have to weigh the risk and reward of that. And I think in today's climate, like you said, it's happened 20 times in the last 12 months probably.
That's not a real number, but I feel like
but it feels like it. And I think you have to notice trends and understand people are wilding. Yeah, we can't account for every person, but we gotta try nowadays because motherfuckers is wilding.
I feel like you can't account for everybody.
You have to try.
The mindset of people has to change. I told you when we were on the pod, I feel like somebody has to get killed. I feel like something tragic has to happen for everybody to understand we can't really do that.
While the mindset of people should change, I think we all know we can't account for the crazy niggas. And as long as they running around
like
doing shit,
most of our lives we did a pretty good job doing that. And it just seems like now it's kind of like
we're
it's
losing
too
the grip.
much.
We're losing the grip, bro. We cannot control the crazy niggas like we once did.
I feel like security is not the answer.
They are the people that this responsibility now falls on because we're not taking care of it.
That they're humans, bro. Like
this
that's
is fair.
Are we gonna get into it? Like, how would you feel if the Dallas Mavericks announced, "Oh, we're gonna just have robot security now"? It's like that doesn't sound cool.
If this is on some Terminator shit, this is probably the beginning of the end. But at the same time, I know that robot gonna fuck that nigga up. If you try some shit, would you try some shit? There's robots in there, knowing it's not no human emotion, go fuck your shit up.
Yeah, until the robot's like, what is life? And murders everybody in the fucking arena.
It's the beginning of the end. I know what I said. But at the same time, nobody better not try no shit because that robot's gonna fuck you up.
Fuck that, bro.
I definitely wouldn't do it. But like we can't account for.
But you see what I'm saying though. When you escalate, you can only escalate so far before shit gets insane.
This is fine. But how long are we gonna let this side go? We gonna let the crazy niggas keep doing what they want?
Sorry to say it, but somebody has to be sacrificed. Whether it's somebody on stage or somebody rushing the stage.
I said we bring the Terminator.
Somebody has to die.
Nigga, this can't be the end of the topic.
Do you have another rapid fire?
I don't. Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't really have another rapid.
Nah, that's all the rapid fire.
Pretty much it.
But we do have top 5.
You have this top 5. I truly think I'm ready with top 5. So I'm gonna let you spit out again.
And you gonna freestyle it?
I always do, but let's see how it goes.
I want you to rank your top 5 JoJo arcs.
It's not hard at all. I'm just gonna go in parts. Because I feel like listing names. I mean, I know Diamond's Unbreakable, obviously by heart, but
I don't know what you mean whether you say part 1 or part 2.
All right. Part 3. Part 3 is
number 1.
Number 1. This is with Jotaro. If you're not hip,
yeah.
This is I'm forgetting the name all of a sudden.
Jotaro, Dio.
Yes, no, but what's the name of the actual series?
Stardust Crusaders.
Thank you. Stardust Crusaders won. No contest. I don't care what anyone says. The way that the ending, bro. I watched all those pointless ass fights. Obviously they weren't pointless to move the plot, but every of that fight paled in comparison to how that show ended. And I mean, if you weren't impressed, like I feel like there's very few times where like you get the climax of a show perfectly right. And that show's an 11 out of 10 when it comes to that ending. So, Stardust Crusaders, you have earned the number 1 spot, and I don't think there's a question about it. Number 2, Diamond is Unbreakable. JoJo's, when you get into JoJo's, you understand what you're getting into, right? But Stardust Crusaders, I think, truly takes like what JoJo's is and kind of next levels it, if that makes sense. Where the plot's heavier, the what's going on heavier, the ending. I mean, JoJo's, you get used to JoJo having a good ending. It's just kind of the part.
Just real quick, I want you to finish your list, of course, but part 4, the villain in part 4 almost felt like he was from a different anime. It's like you took him from some other like Death Note style series and dropped him in JoJo. Yeah, I love that. I love him.
Truly made it work. So definitely Stardust Crusaders 4.
Oh, you mean?
Or
Diamond is
part 4. No, damn it. Diamond is Unbreakable 2.
Gotcha.
It is part 4, but it's the second on my list. Going 1 through 5, it definitely is a weird way to go. But 3. This kind of gets murky. We're going part 2.
Joseph.
Yes, we are going back to Joseph Joestar.
And his homie, I forgot his name.
Speedwagon.
No.
Not Speedwagon?
Speedwagon's like the
that's the one. That's part 1.
He's the old dude. But damn.
I feel like Joseph Joestar.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the dude who was like his right hand, who was like fighting with him.
Yeah, I just don't know his name right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look, okay.
He was Italian, wasn't
he? Yeah,
because that's how the story ends up with.
You know what? Wasn't he Speedwagon's nephew?
I forget how they made it work, but like
it was something super random.
It ends up becoming relevant in the timeline. Nonetheless, part 2 gets number 3.
Fair enough.
They're like I said, after the first 2, they're all kind of in the same tier for me. So like this is just me putting the order that I feel like they deserve.
And you
to be
like all of them, right?
There's not part 1's probably my least favorite, so that's gonna get 5. So if I put part 2,
that leaves part 4.
No, part 4 is.
I'm sorry, part 5. Sorry, part 5.
Yeah, part 5 is.
That's your 4th?
That's the Italian one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely 4. Yeah, definitely 4. So it goes part 3, 1, part 4, 2. This is gonna be a bitch to go out, but whatever. Part 2, 3. This is ugly. Part 4.
Nigga, learn 5. The name.
And I know them by parts. I don't know why I don't know. Like I know Stardust Crusaders. I know Diamond is Unbreakable.
I will say I don't know what 1 is. I don't know what 1 is.
1 is just the OG chapter.
But 2 is Battle Tendencies.
There it is.
3 is Stardust Crusaders.
What's the 5th one?
The 5th one's Golden Wind.
Golden Wind. That's why I couldn't remember for the life of me. All right. Stardust Crusaders, Diamonds Unbreakable, Battle Tendencies,
Golden Wind,
the OG part 1. Which honestly, the part 1, you don't appreciate it till later. As you're watching it, it seems
part 1 gets better. Part 1 gets better.
It shows you where we're headed in the show, because I promise you, the ending makes you go, all right, there might be something here, and then you become a JoJo's fan.
I'll never forget my homie Jordan put JoJo's episode 1 on, thinking, yo, Joe's gonna be lit. We're gonna watch this shit together as a crew. We watched that first episode. I'm like, bro, why would you cut this shit on? This is horrible.
Niggas that roasted him.
We were like, because he's known for his bad taste sometimes.
Niggas
shouts out you, Jordan. Like,
he did it again.
Shouts out to Jordan, but he has some bad taste in shows sometimes. And he cut JoJo's on. And I remember me and my homie Aaron were looking at him like, bro, like, why would you cut this on our TV?
Niggas started throwing tomatoes at old boy. Like,
one, it was the dub. That was problem number 1.
Truly, I started it dub. Truly,
that's a mistake.
And it's a mistake. Yeah, no, you definitely gotta watch that sub.
You gotta have Dio in Japanese.
You gotta watch that sub. Do not watch it dub. You're gonna be disappointed.
I respect your list.
Thank you.
Even though I'm putting 3.
Oh no,
at 5.
You're doing at 5.
I don't like Star Crusaders. Here's the problem. I agree with you that it has a really great,
the best JoJo's ending in my opinion.
Yeah, it has a really great ending. It took us so long.
Forever.
So long.
So many pointless fights.
Like, I feel like the first 3 episodes are fine. And then once you understand how this is going to go, where it's like, we're going to meet some people, we're going to bring some people in the crew, and we're going to go monster of the week.
It's almost like Pokemon, like par for bar, where like they just fight any chance they get, and then just a new nigga adds into it. And honestly, I'm a big Pokemon fan, so that's probably I wasn't tired of the formula. Because I'll say this, it's not like they weren't doing things in every episode. It became stale quick because they were kind of doing the same shit.
I only like 3 characters. That was the fundamental problem for me.
I like the whole cast.
No, Jotaro is to me
one of the greatest protagonists we ever seen in the game.
I like Jotaro in all the other JoJo parts besides this one.
What?
I like him in 4.
This is where he becomes Jotaro.
No,
sorry,
I feel
bro.
like in 4 he becomes an actual character as opposed to just this stoic ass nigga that barely says anything.
This man who did any opportunity he could get. This character. Oh my god, I can't believe you saying that, bro. This was peak Jotaro. I'm sorry.
I was so looking forward to getting. That's the thing. I got like after I was through 2, I was like, yo, all right, we're gonna Stardust Crusaders. This is gonna be crazy. And I'm watching. I'm like, oh, this is dope so far. Then once we met Ponderab, I was like, don't like him at all. Hopefully he's gone by next episode.
Bro.
And he's there for the whole time. He's there for the whole time, bro.
Hear me out. Let's call it what it is.
Bro.
The ending, how the show gets to the ending, and like the last 10 episodes are completely better than the first 20 or whatever the count is. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
because Dio's so great, I'm not gonna.
Did you not feel like the payoff was worth it?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, it was so worth it.
It's one of the best endings in JoJo's.
Oh my god,
I love it. But besides that, it was hard. Like
for you to have it at 5 is crazy to me. Please continue.
Here's why I'm going on, but here's why. Just because the other parts, I love getting through them. Through part 3, I was struggling. I was like,
it definitely did not need to be as long as it was. I'm not gonna argue.
So that's the reason why.
For 5, that's bold, Nick.
4 is 1.
Okay.
And I would have reversed it maybe a couple months ago, but I rewatched 1. I'm like, this. Once you have the context of the story,
as you're a JoJo fan. Once you're watching it, as you're watching his ass, and I have that opinion of it.
Like it feels surreal that Speedwagon is this young character that really hasn't done anything yet,
and how much he has an impact on the.
Yeah, it's like little stuff like that. I love.
No, they truly built a plot. There's a show here in every part. You feel me? It's to connect the story.
So yeah, that's why. And I like Jonathan over Jotaro as the main character.
As you were watching it, this was never going to be this high.
Yeah.
Now that you watched the series, you appreciate it more, and I think that's Monday morning. But go ahead.
That's for sure. For sure. Number 3 is Golden Wind.
I feel like Golden Wind is probably the weakest story of them.
I like the main character. He's a fine JoJo.
He's a fine JoJo.
I like his angle that he is not exactly part of the family tree, but he is.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting. I like gay culture. I like, I have a lot of gay friends and everything and all that. Not really a fan of this homoerotic vibe the entire way, but the story itself, I like.
The show was so like truly.
It almost felt too over the top at
It
times.
literally like lost me at certain points where I thought like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's going on here? But at the same time, it was still JoJo, so like you kind of just accept this situation for what it was. But nah, I think it's the weakest part of all of the stories. If I'm being true.
Yeah, I feel you. Number 2, diamonds are unbreakable. Jeez, like
Is the diamond R? It is.
I don't know.
This diamond is unbreakable. I think.
I know it's something that sounds weird, so you're probably right. Yeah, this anime reminds me the most of like Yu Yu Hakusho in like the first like probably like 5-6 episodes.
They got the fits and everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Yu Yu Hakusho goes into like just being a shonen at some point, where it's like we're doing tournaments and we're going to castles and stuff like. But in the first couple episodes, you're just in the city with Yusuke, just kind of around.
No, I see what you say. I just remember that being recorded this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's like
How they go into it. No, I honestly thought it was gonna be asked the way that show starts because I really didn't know what we were getting at. But that is true build up at its finest.
and it's also the fact that I just came out of Stardust Crusaders, and I was getting tired of that, and then we end on such a high note, and then we're switching to a different setting, and I'm like,
such a different like.
and I'm like, bet.
The vibe between Stardust Crusaders and Diamond is Unbreakable is like it's two different shows completely.
And then I like Jotaro better in that because I like him as somebody who talks and has his own like kind of like
An actual character build.
yeah. Like, I didn't like him as a main JoJo. I like him as a side JoJo in other adventures.
While he does not bring the character, well, I think the characters are just kind of more detailed in Diamond is Unbreakable versus Stardust Crusaders, was just truly more action and stupidity than anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that was his era. Like it fits so well. Like that was JoJo. He was not a man of many words, but goddamn, he beat your ass. You know what he did say a lot.
You know what part 3 feels like?
What?
Part 3 feels like a more mature like WB show that used to come on like Saturday. Like I feel like if I had watched that like weekly, that would have worked a little better.
Yeah, because you would have got a new fight every week.
Right,
but watching that back to back is very tiresome.
Look, it was released, so it wasn't like it was. Like, I feel like if I had watched that when it first came out, I would have probably been different.
Truly, now that you mention that, it's probably one of the least bingeable series because of how tiresome it gets. You just watch the same things for like 18 episodes straight, and then change happens. And nonetheless, continue with your list, which is kind of
Number 1 is complicated.
No, just say it.
Number 1's no. I want to complicate because one of them I want to give it to Stone Ocean, but Stone Ocean.
It's not done yet, so
that's why.
Qualifies.
Just the vibe of it, like if it finishes how I think it's gonna finish,
This is high hopes, Nick.
then everything else moves
Obviously,
down.
a JoJo series usually finishes well, but I
But
can't.
I'm saying like
put
if it finished how I'm gonna finish, everything would move down.
Nick, it's not.
And
It's,
Stardust
at the
would-
time of this recording, it is not finished yet, so I do not think it should count on this list.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Just honorable mention because it's.
Could have just gave it honorable mention.
What I'm saying is, if it like from the quality of what I saw in season 1, it's like it's the best JoJo.
You really just use your number 1 spot to give this honorable mention. You're not slick, Nick.
Yeah.
Continue with your spot.
Number 1 since it's finished is Battle Tendency.
I wouldn't put this one, but all right.
Here's why. Joseph is, to me, definitively
The best Joestar.
Like,
I'm not gonna argue
the best. Like, it's not even an argument to me.
Joseph Joestar is the GOAT.
He completely turned my like sense of what the show is gonna be.
And I feel like because he kind of lasts a little longer than all the other Joestars do, that makes
He's
sense.
in like 4 parts.
You get used to it, but at the same time,
he becomes this dude who cheats on his wife and has like an illegitimate child.
he has a whole.
And I'm like,
build
that
of
is
the
Joseph.
story. It's
Joseph.
Joseph Joestar. Nah, you truly see his whole life, so I see what you're saying.
Now, does the plot make perfect sense?
Not at all.
No,
Not
but
close.
to me, that's the beauty of JoJo's. Because it's all about the journey. It's all about like the crazy shit we're about to do. Does it end in just this boss fight with this fucking like Egyptian pharaoh zombie thing? Sure. Okay, yeah, that's not the greatest. But the trip we made to get to this point, the amount of times this nigga like he's the funniest jokes. That's the thing. This was the funniest part of all of them.
He's very comedic reliefish. Obviously, he's the main character.
In a way, the other JoJo's are not.
Yeah, I mean, Jotaro doesn't do comedy, so
Jonathan doesn't either.
Yeah, it's just kind of out the book.
I think that Jolene is the most like she's probably second, But even then, it's
She's
like
more serious.
nothing. She has funny parts, but nothing near Joseph.
I think she's still way more serious than Joseph.
I'm saying compared to the other ones, she's probably second. In terms of just like silly.
I think Josuke is probably a little funnier.
You made me laugh one time.
One?
I like Sport, but he made me laugh.
Nah, he's funny. I think he tried to be funny. I'll go with that.
I liked him as a character. I'm not saying he's not a good character.
He's not. No, he was clearly not the comedic character, but I still think he had more funny parts. Obviously, the setting's a little different. Like she's not in the more like free world, so like you figure out if you watch it. But
but Joseph is just in a class of his own.
So that's why. Wow.
And it's like he carries the season in a way that none of the other Joe stars have been able to carry it.
Really?
He's the best character. Like I cannot like there are so many characters in JoJo that sometimes
I get what you're saying where he's the top. I think Jotaro is a very close second though. I think
but there's so many characters in Stardust Crusaders where Jotaro's not talking.
That's
like, he's
fair,
just sitting there.
but you understand what the fuck you came here for. It was to see Jotaro punch the fuck out of a nigga, not anyone else, bruv.
I agree with you. He's always like the guy who wraps things up.
You know what you came here to see.
But we're going to see a whole lot of Ponderaf doing some bullshit. We're going to see a whole lot of Abdal. We're going to see Abdal die, come back, die. We're going to see the dog do some stupid shit.
Spoiler alert, if anyone didn't know.
If you're not a real JoJo fan,
this probably isn't for you.
Not for you.
But nonetheless, the dog, I wasn't a fan of at first, but when you have the role that the dog played in this,
it's the amount of attention they gave to the dog. I don't have a problem with the character.
But the dog had a stand, so it wasn't like the dog was there.
The dog had like 3 episodes dedicated to him.
This is true.
Too much. There's no other show that would give 3 episodes to
like
a
I
dog.
said, this season didn't have to be as long as it was. But I mean, fuck it.
37 episodes.
The payoff was so worth it.
I thought it was like 20 at first. And when I found out it's 37, I was like,
this is tough.
I think part 3 is the most.
Once you get to like the last 12 though, you're on like a straight end to like let's finish this bitch. So like it's 20 episodes of suffering and it's worth it.
And at the same time,
I'll say not even 20. It's because you're trying to figure it out for like the first 6 or 7, so you don't really know what you get into. So it's like 15 episodes.
And I will say, there's no JoJo that I would rate under an 8 out of 10. Like I just have a really great time with all these. Like even getting through Stardust Crusaders, it's still like. It starts off pretty well, and then it ends off as the best JoJo. Like in terms of how
ending,
it ends,
man. You can't argue with that ending. I don't care who you is.
So yeah, good list.
That's a good topic, by the way. I thought there's enough seasons that you can actually rank them, and it's a good discussion. But I think we talked it out pretty well. Top 5. Oof.
Good turn.
Top 5 NFL receivers in the league right now.
Dylan. Okay, that's a good one.
Childish dick.
What's his name?
Don't think too hard.
Nah, Devontae Adams won.
Devontae Adams won. All right.
Cooper Kupp 2.
This is stuff.
3 probably is Hopkins. Probably.
DeAndre Hopkins 3. After the last season,
yeah.
Okay, continue.
I like him.
That's
you know. He was hurt last year too.
This is true.
So I can't really take that away. Before last year, I thought he was number 1. So it's like to go from 1 to 3, it's like I
it's
thought
a drop.
Fair. 4. There's a couple directions to go. Actually, it's like 4 is where we get a little.
Right now, that's the list. I'm asking for.
I like AJ Brown. I do like AJ Brown.
I think you're disrespecting someone right now.
I know. I'm saying I like AJ Brown, but I'm kind of missing somebody.
Don't think too hard.
I'll go with AJ Brown for number 4.
Really? Oh God.
And then number 5. Who's the dude on the Chargers?
Keenan Allen?
I like him.
Okay. I just feel like you left 2 really big names off this list, but all right. I think you paid your respects. That much is true. Keenan Allen sneaking in 5 is tough for me. AJ Brown 4, another tough one. But all right. I don't think I'll listen to it. So number 1, Devontae Adams. Best receiver in the league, not hip. Number 2, Cooper Kupp. Can't argue that either. He had MVP season damn near. He truly fantastic.
I honestly think he should have got it.
I don't think so. But he didn't have a record-breaking year. He just had a really, really good year. But I think that's
top 5 wide receiver year of all time.
I think. How many wide receivers have won MVP with those seasons? It's just not. It's not really a thing. You really have to have a record-breaking season as a running back or a receiver, in my opinion. I think even with a running back, you're more likely to.
It's
get
like
it.
Randy had a like there was a.
If Tom Brady did win the MVP, this season, it would have been Randy.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Like, you have a great like
quarterback
year.
is
like
probably
everybody's
more
gonna say,
likely.
"Oh, you had a good quarterback."
Yeah, that's
so it's like they can never win it.
I think we've had, like I said, offensive player of the year is probably the best they get, but you have to get props for this, dude.
Even then, like they better not be in your conference. Like the MVP, if MVP's in your conference, they win offensive player of the year.
Unless they're also a receiver.
No, I'm saying if you are a quarterback and you like quarterbacks usually always win MVP.
Yeah,
if you come from the same conference as a wide receiver had a career year, then they're still gonna win MVP or offensive player of the year.
They'll win offensive player. Cooper Kupp won it this year.
Are you? Can you win offensive player of the year and not
win MVP? Yes, that was all the time. Actually.
Really?
Yes.
I need to get my words ready.
Go ahead.
That's why I asked.
Good for you, Dick. Yeah, number 2, Cooper Kupp. Can't put him anywhere else in this list. Truly had a fantastic year. This is where our list definitely differs, though. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. I'm shocked you didn't have him in your top 5.
Yeah.
I think he's had the most receiving yards in the first 2 seasons of NFL career. If I haven't that stat right,
I gotta see more.
He's 2 years with 1,000+ yards.
I thought about him, but I gotta see more.
Wow. All right, number 3, Justin Jefferson.
These are the quiet time I was thinking.
Oof. Yeah, I peeped. Number 4. I might be a little early on this one. Jamar Chase. I know it's only been one season.
I thought about Jamar Chase, but it's the same thing. I'm like, I cannot put a person who's done it one year in there.
I know. It seems a little early.
Off potential, I agree with you completely, but I just can't do that.
Hear me out. And everyone's gonna argue, "Oh, Joe Burrow's a quarterback." Yada yada. These two might play in the NFL their whole careers together. So as far as we're concerned,
that's a stupid argument. They might miss out.
It is what it is. But like, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are a match made in heaven. You just have to accept that. When Jamar Chase is catching passes for Joe Burrow, he plays like he's the best receiver in the league. Man had 266 yards receiving in the game.
Here's the thing, that you're putting him over DeAndre Hopkins. I'm like, that's a kind of a reach to me. I think kind of a reach.
Maybe I'm ahead of the game on this one.
That's a little disrespectful.
Maybe I'm ahead of the game of this one. I think, like we're talking right now, obviously DeAndre is coming off injury. He's going into suspension. I think by week 5.
Oh, damn, I told you.
He is being suspended. I think if we're talking right now, it's Jamar. I think DeAndre's in this weird place in his career where it just seems like he's on a decline, and maybe he's not. Maybe he comes back and he balls out.
I don't like. Why decline? I don't think he got hurt this year.
This is true, but
like, I've seen niggas get hurt and have
if
good
you
years
look at his
afterwards.
numbers, they weren't what they were in years past. Obviously, the Arizona offense is growing.
It's a little different.
More options are building, but he was very touchdown dependent in the year in terms of like good games, yada yada. Yeah. So, if the trend does continue, I think we'll easily be saying Jamar Chase over DeAndre Hopkins. But 5 DeAndre Hopkins, no disrespect. The man's honest, like you said, a year or 2 ago, he's number 1 on this list. I just think the young guns are in, and Jamar Chase and Jefferson, I like that, and that's just how I feel. But 5 D-Hop. Love D-Hop.
Got you.
That's hands in the league still, D-Hop.
I think your list is
I'm ahead of the curve.
Like, very looking forward into.
I'm ahead of the curve, bro.
Yeah,
I said right now, that's how I'm feeling, present day. No season being played, so obviously
I'm just doing it based off what I've seen within the past
true.
3-4 years. I like Keenan. I have a soft spot for Keenan Allen. I think he's a great receiver.
He's a great receiver. I think
he's in a really good situation.
I think he always makes the underrated list and not the top list, and I think that's just Keenan's career.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
But I'm sorry, if Justin Jefferson comes out and has another 1,000-yard season, we're talking about the best start to an NFL career for a receiver ever, and I think you can't ignore that. I
think that your list is good for looking into the future. I do see both those dudes you named.
We're gonna come back in a year and I'm gonna be like that. But all right, Nick, where are we going next with the pod? Have we done it all? Have we finished it all? Have we got anything more to talk about?
We've been around the world. We've been around the world in an hour and 37
Holy
minutes.
Shit. End the pod, Nick. We've done it all.
We're going to end the podcast. I'm going to put some music on this bitch.
Is that the goal? We're putting music on this one? This is going to be background music?
Hopefully y'all been hearing some music as y'all heard us talk. That's the goal with the editing.
Some silence in between, Go ahead, Nick.
If you don't hear the music, that's how you know I fucked up.
Nick, drop the beat, bro. Good episode, Nick.